Alaska Permanent Fund Dividend, Resource Revenue Distribution, Alaska's tax system and oil industry benefits, an analysis. Alaska presents a unique economic model among U.S. states, characterized by the absence of state income and sales taxes, coupled with direct citizen benefit sharing from oil revenues through the Alaska Permanent Fund Dividend, PFD. This video examines Alaska's distinctive tax structure, analyzes the benefits residents receive from the oil industry, and explores the mechanisms through which oil revenues are distributed to citizens. The state's fiscal approach demonstrates how natural resource wealth can be structured to provide direct benefits to residents while maintaining essential government services. For more information, follow the description with the suggested literature to expand the understanding of this topic. Remember to share and subscribe. Introduction. Alaska's fiscal system stands apart from other U.S. states through its distinctive approach to taxation and resource revenue distribution. As one of only 9 states without a personal income tax and one of 5 without a statewide sales tax, Alaska has developed alternative revenue mechanisms primarily dependent on oil and gas production. This unique structure, combined with the Alaska Permanent Fund Dividend program, creates a system where residents not only avoid many traditional taxes but also receive direct payments from the state's natural resource wealth. Alaska's tax structure absence of major state taxes. Alaska distinguishes itself as having among the lowest tax burdens in the United States. The state imposes no personal income tax, making it one of 9 states with this distinction alongside Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, Wyoming, and New Hampshire. Additionally, Alaska maintains no statewide sales tax, though local jurisdictions may impose their own sales taxes ranging from 0% to 7.85%, resulting in an average combined rate of only 1.82%, the lowest in the nation. Local tax variations. While the state government abstains from sales taxation, Alaska's boroughs and municipalities retain authority to implement local sales taxes. Notably, the state's 2 largest cities, Anchorage and Fairbanks, impose no local sales tax, while the capital city of Juneau maintains a 5% rate. These local variations reflect Alaska's emphasis on local control and governance, with some jurisdictions even implementing seasonal tax rates to accommodate tourism patterns. Property taxes. Despite the absence of income and sales taxes, Alaska residents do pay property taxes that exceed the national median. The statewide median property tax payment stands at $3,687 annually, equivalent to an effective rate of 1.16% of home value, Smart Asset, 2024. These property taxes fund essential local services, including schools and infrastructure, with rates varying significantly between boroughs. Oil industry revenue and taxation production tax structure. Alaska's oil and gas production tax represents a complex system designed to balance state revenue needs with industry incentives. The current tax structure, modified through Senate Bill 21 in 2013, operates on a net profit basis rather than gross revenue, accounting for operating costs and capital expenditures. For oil produced from leases north of 68 degrees north latitude, the tax rate varies based on oil prices, with minimum tax floors ranging from 0% to 4% of gross value depending on market conditions, corporate taxes, and royalties. The state collects revenue from oil production through multiple mechanisms beyond production taxes. Oil companies pay corporate income taxes on their Alaska operations, though specific provisions allow deductions for federal taxes and certain operational expenses. Additionally, the state receives royalties from oil production on state lands, typically ranging from 12.5% to 16.67% of production value, though these percentages can vary based on lease terms. Revenue allocation. A constitutional amendment requires that at least 25% of all mineral lease rentals, royalties, royalty sale proceeds, and federal mineral revenue sharing payments be deposited into the Alaska Permanent Fund. This provision ensures that a portion of non-renewable resource revenues is preserved for future generations, transforming temporary resource extraction into permanent wealth. The Alaska Permanent Fund Dividend Program Structure and Philosophy. The Alaska Permanent Fund Dividend represents one of the world's most notable examples of universal basic income implementation. Established through a 1976 constitutional amendment and first distributed in 1982, the PFD provides annual payments to all eligible Alaska residents regardless of age, employment status, or income level. The program embodies Alaska's constitutional principle that natural resources belong to all citizens and should benefit current and future generations equally. Recent dividend amounts. The 2024 PFD totaled $1,702 per resident, comprising a base dividend of $1,403.83, plus an energy relief payment of $298.17 authorized by the legislature. This represents a significant increase from the 2023 dividend of $1,312. Historical dividend amounts have varied considerably based on fund performance and legislative appropriations, ranging from a low of $878 to a high of $2,072. Fund management and growth. The Alaska Permanent Fund Corporation, APFC, manages assets exceeding $85 billion as of 2025, having grown from an initial deposit of $734,000 in 1977. The fund invests in a globally diversified portfolio including equities, fixed income, real estate, and alternative investments, ensuring long-term growth while providing stable dividend distributions. Investment returns, combined with continued oil revenue deposits, have enabled the fund to grow substantially despite annual dividend payments. Economic impact research indicates the PFD has significant economic and social effects. Studies have found the dividend reduces poverty rates among Alaskans by 20 to 40%, with particularly pronounced effects on rural indigenous communities, where poverty rates decreased from 28% to less than 22%. The program has helped Alaska achieve the highest economic equality among U.S. states while providing unconditional cash assistance when other states have increased welfare conditionality. Federal tax implications. While Alaska residents avoid state income tax on their PFD payments, the Internal Revenue Service considers the entire dividend amount taxable for federal purposes. Recipients must report the full dividend amount on their federal tax returns, with the state's federal tax identification number 92-6001185 provided for tax filing purposes. Fiscal sustainability and future considerations. Revenue diversification. Alaska's heavy reliance on oil revenues presents long-term sustainability challenges as production levels and prices fluctuate. The permanent fund has increasingly become the state's primary revenue source, with transfers from the fund now exceeding oil tax revenues and accounting for more than half of general-purpose state revenue. This shift reflects both declining oil production from mature fields and the success of the permanent fund's investment strategy. Policy debates. Ongoing policy discussions center on balancing dividend payments with state spending needs. Some proposals advocate for a percent of market value (POMV) approach, limiting annual withdrawals to 5% of the fund's value to ensure long-term sustainability. These debates reflect tension between maintaining generous dividends and funding essential government services without implementing broad-based taxes. Economic implications. The absence of state income and sales taxes combined with PFD payments creates unique economic dynamics. While these policies attract residents and businesses seeking tax advantages, they also concentrate fiscal risk in commodity markets and investment returns. The state's fiscal model inherently provides inflation protection through resource-linked revenues and globally diversified investments, offering residents a hedge against cost of living increases. Conclusion. Alaska's tax system and oil revenue sharing model demonstrate an alternative approach to public finance that directly connects citizens to natural resource wealth. Through the elimination of major state taxes and the distribution of permanent fund dividends, Alaska has created a unique social contract where residents receive tangible benefits from resource extraction. While this system faces sustainability challenges amid changing oil markets and production levels, it has successfully transformed non-renewable resource extraction into permanent wealth benefiting multiple generations of Alaskans. The Alaska model offers valuable lessons for other resource-rich regions considering how to structure taxation and distribute resource revenues. By constitutionally dedicating a portion of resource revenues to permanent savings and establishing universal dividend payments, Alaska has created mechanisms for intergenerational wealth transfer while maintaining relatively low tax burdens on residents. As global discussions of universal basic income and resource revenue management continue, Alaska's 4-decade experiment provides crucial empirical evidence about the feasibility and effects of direct resource revenue distribution to citizens. Thank you for watching.